Okay, for tonight's homework, I'm going to have you write down all this work and the 4 secret words. This is homework 430. If you're the people who did last night's homework, 429, and you're getting a head start in what we're learning today, here's a chance to do tonight's homework already and get a little head start on what we're learning today. So here we go. We're doing substitution. This is a way to solve for that solution point that works in both without having to graph it and find where the points intersect. So solving it by substitution, pure algebra. What we do is we look at this in terms of I'm going to be substituting one piece of one equation into the other equation. And what I'm going to do is I'm looking at in terms of the f of x. This tells me where I'm going to substitute in the other equation, wherever there's an f of x, right here. This tells me what I'm going to take and substitute right there. So I'm going to take this and plug this right here. The first word is I. So the first step on this, substitute one piece of the equation into the other. The piece I'm substituting in this right here, so where it used to be f of x, I now have 6x minus 2 because that's equal to f of x. I got my equal, I have this 2x plus 10, and now it becomes solving a variables with both sides equation where you start on the left, get rid of the plain number on the left, go to the right, get rid of the number on the right, back to the left, divide. So first step, start on the left, get rid of the plain number on the left, bring that 6x down, bring that equal down, bring that 2x down, bring that 12 down. Now stay over here, and on this side of the equation now eliminate the variable term. So minus the opposite, minus 2x on both sides. Those go away. Bring down 4x, bring down your equal and your 12. Now stay on this side, third step. Last step, divide by 4. And that gives me half of my solution point answer. X equals 3. The second word is can. Alright, so what I have here is half of my solution point. Remember, every point is x comma y, or now x comma f of x, which represents what y used to be, but it is still y, kind of. So I put my 3 right where my x is. That is half of my answer. Now I need to find the second part, which is the f of x. So I could choose any of these to plug in 3 for x. So I'm going to erase these right here. The third word is solve. Alright, so again, what you could do to find that last piece of your solution point, this f of x, take this 3 and you could choose any of these 2 to plug that in and do the math. So I could plug in 3 right here and do the math, or I could choose this one and plug in 3 in here to do the math. I'm just going to choose the second one here. And to find f of x, what I do, I plug in 3 into that x spot right there. That gives me 2 times 3 plus 10. That gives me 6 plus 10. And that tells me the second part of the solution point is 16 right there. What I'm going to have you also do is check this point and prove that this method worked without even having to graph it. So for the check, again, I want you to plug in 3 for x and 16 for f of x. So I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. And then for my check, I'm going to plug that into both of these to prove that it works. So I'm going to use the f of x equals 6x minus 2. And I'm also going to use the f of x equals 2x plus 10. I'm going to plug it into both. when I do my check, I'm going to plug 16 for f of x, and then where x is, I'm going to plug in 3, and that should work. Minus that 2. That'll give me 16 equals 18 minus 2. That's 16 equals 16. That one worked. So now if I plug in 3 for x and 16 for f of x in the second one, it will also work. So 16 for f of x, where there's an x, I plug in 3. Everything else stays the same. And that gives me 16 equals 6 plus 10, and that is a true statement. All right, the last word is systems. Systems. And again, you would have got that same coordinate if you graphed these both with a y-intercept of -2 and a slope of over 1 up 6. This one has a y-intercept of 10 and a slope of over 1 up 2 over 1 up 2. Good luck.